Namaste. Welcome to my astrological YouTube channel, Akool Saral Jyotish Astrology Simplified. I am Akool, astrological author, analyst, and researcher. Today, I am going to discuss on one of my research secrets, which is very useful and gives micro level result on Saturn transit. It is very useful. The research is very useful, and by using this research technique, you would be able to predict the micro level result of Saturn's transit. Saturn's transit is the most discussed subject among the astrological community and astrology lovers, isn't it? Because Saturn is called time personified and a trendsetter. But our approach in analyzing Saturn transit is extremely generalized and vague. With the help of a generalized and vague approach, sometimes the predicted and expected results of Saturn transit come true by chance, not always, come true by chance, and many times they do not. But my research technique would pinpointedly show the result of Saturn transit on your horoscope. It will able to tell you pinpointedly the major events that is likely to take place during Saturn transit. So it is going to be extremely useful for my all beloved lovers, beloved viewers. So please remain attached to the video until the end to know the technique and its application in the horoscope for effective prediction. Today, I shall discuss one of my research secrets on the transit of Saturn in a complete shift from the rhetorical, generalized, and vague approach. Let us understand this new research in easy steps in a simple manner with scientific logic behind it. I will give the scientific logic of my research. Step 1. Find out the date. Remember, find out the date and time of ingress, means sanchar, Gochar of Saturn to a particular zodiac sign. You have to jot down the date and time of Saturn to a particular zodiac time. You can easily know the time and date of Saturn transit to a particular zodiac from various almanacs or from Vedic Panchang. They have a website. Reliable data they give. The name of the website is www.Vedic Panchang, Drik, D-R-I-K, Drik Panchang, Panchang.com. They give reliable data as far as I believe. Step 2. Cast a Gochar horoscope of Saturn with 9 planets and Lagna according to the date, time, and your place of birth. Remember, the date, time, and your place of birth. Not of other place of birth, of your place of birth, whatever may be your place of birth. Step 3. Mark the Lagna and the Lagna Lord of the Gochar horoscope of Saturn, as they will play the vital micro-level roles in predicting the Gochar result of Saturn during a particular Gochar, means transit, of approximately 2.5 years. The scientific logic behind electing the Gochar Lagna of transit Saturn is that there is nothing time sensitive in Vedic astrology other than the Lagna. Lagna is very time sensitive. Moreover, my research approach eliminates the chronic doubts that once in every 30 years Saturn transits the same zodiac sign, but the transit results are different. Surely transit results are always different. Every time Saturn, for example, transiting through zodiac is not going to give you the same result, isn't it? But the Lagna would be different. Saturn, the Lagna of the Saturn transit through, in the example case Leo, would be different every time the Saturn would be transiting through Leo, for example. But the transit results are different. With my research approach, the Lagna in the Gochar horoscope of Saturn will never be the same every time Saturn transits a particular zodiac sign, because the time will be different and Lagna would be different, date would be different, Lagna would be different of the Gochar horoscope of Saturn. So scientific, so logical. Nobody knows this technique. It is very useful. I will appeal to all my beloved viewers to apply it in their horoscope and the horoscope of others. You apply and then comment. Rule of predicting the time of events with my research approach. Whenever the Lagna and or the Lagna Lord in the Gochar horoscope of Saturn shall influence the Karaka Bhavas and or the Karaka Bhavalords of a particular divisional chart, the major events relating to the Karaka Bhava, means not Karaka Bhava, Karakatva, oblique or significations of the divisional chart concerned will be triggered during the period of such a transit of Saturn almost surely. I repeat this paragraph again so that you can remember. Whenever the Lagna and or the Lagna Lord in the Gochar horoscope of Saturn shall influence the Karaka Bhavas and or the Karaka Bhavalords of a particular divisional chart, the major events relating to the Karakatva or significations of the divisional chart concerned will be triggered during the period of such a transit of Saturn almost surely. Suppose Saturn transited the Lagna or the Lagna Lord of the Gochar Saturn, Lagna or the Lagna Lord of the Gochar horoscope of Saturn transited or influenced the Lagna, the seventh house, Lagna Lord or seventh Lord of your D9 chart. Either you will get married or some very bad events pertaining to your married life is likely to be occurred during these approximately 2.5 years of the Gochar of Saturn. It is for almost sure. Astrology doesn't give guarantee because it is an indicative science, but almost sure. You'll able to learn grip the everything when everything will come in your grip when I will conclude this presentation. So remain attached to this video until the end. Srimati Indira Gandhi was married on 28 March 1942. The relevant divisional chart for marriage is D9, Navamsha. The Karaka Bhavas for marriage are Lagna, Lagna Lord, the seventh house, and the seventh Lord of D9. So I'll show it in the horoscope so that you can know the application of the research in the horoscope. It is done when she married. Marriage was on 26 March 1942 during the transit of Saturn in Taurus. Saturn was transiting on the date of her marriage through Taurus. For marriage, we know the divisional chart is D9, and it is the divisional chart D9 before all of us of Srimati Indira Gandhi. Then what are the Karaka Bhavas? Karaka Bhavas are Lagna and the Lagna Lord of the D9, seventh house and the seventh Lord of D9. Her Lagna of D9 is Pisces. So Karaka Bhava is Pisces and Jupiter is the Karaka Bhava Lord. Seventh house is Virga. So Virga is the Karaka Bhava and Mercury is the Karaka Bhava Lord of the seventh house. So when Saturn entered in Taurus, means ingressed in Taurus, it gave her marriage. So you have to cast a Gochar horoscope of Saturn when Saturn entered in Taurus for the first time, not for the second time, for the first time. Perhaps it might have gone in between to the previous sign Aries and again came to Taurus, because Saturn has retrograde motion also. Sometimes through retrograde motion in transit it goes to the previous sign and again re-entered. You might have seen this phenomena. But the first time when it entered a particular zodiac sign, that time, that date, and your place of birth will be required to cast the Gochar horoscope of Saturn to a particular zodiac sign. Ingress chart of Saturn, you see, it is the Ingress chart. Saturn ingressed in Taurus on Wednesday 18/6 means 18th June 1941 at 1939 hours means 7:39 p.m. at Allahabad, the birthplace of Srimati Indira Gandhi. I have erected the Gochar horoscope of Saturn, which is in front of you, during which Gochar Srimati Indira Gandhi was married. It is the Gochar horoscope. Everything is there. It is south side horoscope. All details of Gochar we will find inbuilt in this horoscope. In the Gochar chart, when Saturn entered Taurus on 18 June 1941, everything is here, you can see, at 7:39 p.m. place Allahabad, the Gochar Lagna was Sagittarius. Then who is the Lagna Lord? It is Jupiter. So as per our rule, either Lagna or the Lagna Lord of the Gochar horoscope must activate the Lagna, Lord, the 7th house or the 7th Lord of the D9 chart for marriage. Isn't it? You see, Jupiter, it is Jupiter. Where is Jupiter? Jupiter, the Lagna Lord, the Karakabhava Lord of Navamsha chart is in Taurus. And where is the Lagna Lord of Saturn Ingress chart to Taurus is also in Taurus. Jupiter is in Taurus. Who is the Lagna Lord of the Gochara chart of Saturn? It is in Taurus. So Jupiter was expecting the Lagna Lord of Navamsha chart of Srimati Indira Gandhi that triggered her marriage. So easy and so scientific, because we are using Lagna of the Gochar chart, Lagna Lord of the Gochar chart, only two. So it is so important. Lagna is always important, you all know. See, I will explain more events in our life in this process. D7 chart of Srimati Indira Gandhi. D7 means Saptamsha chart of Srimati Indira Gandhi. Saptamsha chart is used to predict about childbirth. Many things. For this time, we are taking it as the horoscope for childbirth only. In her Saptamsha chart, the Lagna is Aries. When Lagna is Aries, Moon is the Karakabhava Lord and Aries is the Karakabhava. The 5th house of child is Scorpio and Mars is the Karakabhava Lord. So the Gochar Saturn, the Lagna Lord of the Gochar horoscope of Saturn, at the time of birth of our children, must activate either Cancer, the Moon, Mars, or Scorpio. Isn't it? it is the Gochar horoscope. At the time of birth of Rajiv Gandhi, her first child, on 20th August 1944. Saturn entered in Gemini. See, the degree of the Saturn is 0000 of Mrigashira Nakshatra. It would be always 0000. Saturn entered Mrigashira Nakshatra. Saturn entered Gemini at the time of birth of Rajiv Gandhi. Previously, it would always be previous to the event, or not on the event day. It would be always previous to the event day. So, when Saturn was transiting through Gemini, Rajiv Gandhi was born to Srimati Indira Gandhi. So, Saturn was transiting in Gemini. But when Saturn entered in Gemini, we have to know that Saturn entered in Gemini on 5th of August 1943 at 22:05 hours, means 10:05 p.m. at Allahabad, since Allahabad is the birthplace of Srimati Indira Gandhi, isn't it? We already know the Karaka Bhavas of her D7. These are Cancer, Moon, Scorpio, and Mars. And the Lagna Lord of the Gochar horoscope of Saturn must activate either Cancer, the Moon, the Mars, or Scorpio in the Saptamsha chart of Srimati Indira Gandhi. So, the Gochar Lagna was Pisces. At the time of entry, it is very correct. Gochar Lagna, you can rely on this because it is the Gochar. The exact time you will get. The Gochar Lagna is Pisces with Jupiter as the Lord. Where is Jupiter? Jupiter is in Cancer. Remember it. Now take this Jupiter to the Saptamsha chart of Srimati Indira Gandhi and you will get Cancer is the Lagna, a Karaka Bhava of the Saptamsha chart. So the Gochar Lagna Lord of Saturn at the time of entry of Saturn at Gemini influenced the Karaka Bhava, the Lagna, which is a promise that Srimati Indira Gandhi will be blessed with a child during Saturn's transit through Gemini. Next event, major event. I am only explaining the major event. Many things can be predicted. If I go on disclosing everything, it will be a book only. It will become a book, large book. Birth of Sanjay Gandhi took place on 14 December 1946 when Saturn was transiting through Cancer. Saturn entered Cancer for the first time on 22nd September 1945 at 23:02 hours, means 11:02 p.m. at Allahabad. When Saturn entered Cancer, what was the Lagna and the Lagna Lord? We have to find out. Lagna was Taurus, and the Lagna Lord will become Venus. We will now see whether this Lagna Taurus and Lagna Lord Venus, either of them, are influencing the Karaka Bhavas of the D7 of Srimati Indira Gandhi to enable her to get to enable her to get her second child, Sanjay Gandhi. Lagna of the Gochar horoscope was Aries. It is not that. It is the D7 chart. Lagna of the Gochar horoscope was Aries. And where was the Jupiter? Where was the Venus? Venus was in Leo. So, see, from it is the Taurus sign, that is the Lagna of the Gochar chart of Saptamsha of Srimati Indira Gandhi. Gochar chart of Saturn, at the time when Sanjay Gandhi was born. See, Mars, who is the fifth lord, has been aspecting the Gochar Lagna. And Venus, the Gochar Lagna Lord of Saturn, when Saturn entered in Cancer, was in Leo. Venus was in Leo. It was transiting over Moon, the Karaka Bhava Lord of D7 chart. Moon is the Lagna Lord. I am now analyzing the next event in the life of Srimati Indira Gandhi. It is relating to her career. Dashamsha chart of Srimati Indira Gandhi. So, her Dashamsha chart, Lagna is Sagittarius. Lagna is Sagittarius. When Sagittarius is the Lagna, the Karaka Bhava Lord is Jupiter. When 10th house is Virgo, when Lagna is Sagittarius, the 10th house is always Virga. When Virga is the 10th house, means a Karaka Bhava, then Mercury is the Karaka Bhava Lord who is in Scorpio, and Jupiter is in Gemini. 10th house is Virga and Lagna is Sagittarius. She became the Prime Minister for the first time on 24th on 24th January 1966. At that time, Saturn was transiting through Aquarius. Saturn ingressed to Aquarius on 27 January 1964 at 21:56 hours, means 9:56 at Allahabad. Then at the time of entering, means ingressed, Gochar of Saturn in Aquarius, we have to find out what was the Lagna and the Lagna Lord. The Lagna was Virga and Lagna Lord is Mercury in Sagittarius. What happened? Just see. Lagna of the Gochara horoscope of Saturn in Sagittarius, Gochara horoscope of Saturn in Aquarius was what? Lagna was in Virga, Mercury was in Sagittarius. We'll take this Virga and Mercury. See, in the Dashamsha chart, Lagna rising is the 10th house of her D10 chart. And Mercury, who is the Lagna Lord of the Gochar horoscope of Saturn, is in Sagittarius. Triggered, the result triggered. With Saturn transit in Aquarius, would you be able to predict that Saturn has been influencing any of the Karakavabha of the D10? No, never. From Aquarius, it will not even aspect any of the Karakavabha lords, because it is the third house. And you cannot expect much good result during Saturn transit for the third house of your Dashamsha. But when you analyze it in different angle, by taking the Gochara Lagna and the Gochara Lagna Lord of transiting Saturn at the time of entry in a particular zodiac sign, in the instant case it is Aquarius, we find that the Lagna was Virga and Lagna Lord was in Sagittarius. Becoming Prime Minister is a difficult task. It is high post of a democracy, the highest post of the democracy, of a democratic setup. See how the research worked beautifully. Otherwise, you would not be able to predict that such an event will take place in our life during Saturn transit to Aquarius, which is the third house of our Dashamsha chart. Third house is not very promising in the Dashamsha chart as far as profession is concerned. These are not Karakavavas. Then next time, when she became the Prime Minister for the second time, means in the first time she was Prime Minister for 2 consecutive terms. When she again became the Prime Minister on 14 January 1980, the Saturn was transiting through Virga, with Virgo as the Gochara Lagna and Mercury as the Gochara Lagna Lord. Mercury was in Scorpio. We'll take Virgo and Scorpio to her 10th house for analyzing, to her D10 chart to see whether the Lagna, Gochara Lagna of the Saturn and Gochara Lagna Lord of the Saturn has been activating any of the Karakavabhas of her D10 chart. See, Saturn is transiting Gochara Lagna at the time of Saturn entered Virgo sign. It was at the time it was Virgo. The Lagna was Virga. So what is Virga? The 10th house of our Dashamsha chart. And who is the Lord of transit Lagna Lord? At the time of entry of Saturn in Virgo, it was Mercury. We have already seen Mercury was in Scorpio. See, it was over Mercury, which is the 10th Lord, a Karakavabha Lord of the Dashamsha chart of Srimati Indira Gandhi. Otherwise, by taking this thing, Saturn in Virgo, you would not able to predict the tentative result. But with this method, Lagna Lord of the Gochara chart of Saturn, whether influencing any of the Karakavabha or Karakavabha lords of the divisional chart concerned, you will be able to predict pinpointedly, because nothing is more time sensitive than the Lagna and the Lagna Lord in Vedic astrology. You all know. It was the research I have disclosed before my beloved viewers. You can share You can use this research in your horoscope, the method I have shown before you, and in the horoscope of others for predicting the tentative result of Saturn during transiting through a particular zodiac sign. Now I am recapping. Please try to remember. First, cast the Gochar horoscope of Saturn with Lagna, Lagna Lord, everything. As you cast a normal horoscope, you cast the Gochar horoscope of Saturn based on the date, time, and place of your birth. Date means date of entry of Saturn to a particular zodiac sign, time of entry of Saturn to a particular zodiac sign for the first time with your place of birth. Cast a Gochar horoscope. Note down the Lagna and the Lagna Lord of that Gochar horoscope of Saturn. Now you take this Lagna, Lagna Lord to your D10, D9, D4, and D7 if you are expecting any result pertaining to the Karaka Bhavas of these divisional charts. For marriage, it will be D9. For profession, it would be D10. For property related matter, it would be D4. For conveyance, means car, luxury and everything, it would be D16. Like that. And translate the major and predict the major events. If the Lagna, Lagna Lord of the Gochar chart of Saturn influence any of the Karaka Bhavas of a particular divisional chart, you will be able to predict the major events pertaining to your marriage will take place. Because the Lagna, Lagna Lord of the Gochar chart of Saturn has influenced either the 7th house, 7th Lord, Lagna, Lagna Lord of the D9 chart. So simple. So you will be able to, within 2.5 years, your marriage is going to take place. For job, take the Lagna, Lagna Lord of the Gochar chart of Saturn. See whether this Lagna, Lagna Lord has been influencing the Lagna, Lagna Lord or 10th house, 10th Lord of the D10 chart. If it is so, say yes. Within this transit, you will get a job or your promotion will take place or you will get a good increment which will remain memorable to you. In this way, you can transit. I think my loved viewers could learn something new from me today, as usual, as you used to learn from me every day. So, if you have liked the content, please give like, please share the knowledge, disseminate the knowledge among the large section of the people by sharing this among your friends, relatives, whosoever you want. Comment if you have not understood. If you have any doubt, comment. I will give you a reply. And please subscribe to the channel because this will give me motivation to bring such kind of unique research work before you so that you can take benefit of the same. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.